Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. We're here for the fourth and final round, and it's the back nine at the Shelly Sharpe Disc Golf Course located in Vista del Camino Park. Got Jamie Spencer again on the mic joining me. And Jamie, we're heading to the back. Owen's in control right now, but the last 9 holes aren't exactly easy.
No, they're not. I mean, you could have a lot of distance accuracy and, man, just bring it all home.
There's a little bit of OB on pretty much every single hole from here all the way through until we get back up to Duke Sports Bar and Grill where we started this thing. And Hailey King, right off the bat, makes the Mando, but a little low, and it burns into the center of the fairway.
Yeah, that right side of the hill, that comes in, it sneaks up on you real fast. And if you hit that, you're going to get a little bit of a cut roll.
Owen catches a tree on that right side, but then it kicks back out also into the middle of the fairway for her. Valerie Mandujano. Beautiful backhand. Looks like it flexes out a little bit and finishes on to the left. And then her younger sister, Alexis, straight up the middle.
It's a good shot. I like the forehand up shot for this hole. It just brings you back to where you want to be. It was a really good shot that she just had there.
Yeah, and that's a great point because as you get more and more down the fairway, if you have something that's hyzering out, it's just going to be pushing away from the pin. So any kind of forehand, like you're saying, is going to bring you back toward where the pin is on that right side.
And the fairway itself is just made, it's just more open for that forehand shot right here, I feel.
Turnover for Alexis. No, Valerie with a great drive. Stands up. Plays a little bit of a skip. It's going to be a little bit short, but center of the fairway. Really easy approach from there. Maybe a long look at birdie.
Yeah.
And there's the forehand you speak of, playing up to that slight incline on the right side.
And there is OB up there. It's a little bit high up there, but it is up there.
If it wasn't close enough, it decided to roll a little bit to the pin. See another forehand. And that checks up right next to the basket.
Nice.
Solid. Yeah, good solid standstill from about 100 feet. Owns about 20.
Oh my God.
She thinks she missed it. But she gets it to drop. She's got a 7-stroke advantage over Hailey King. I think no lead is safe on this course and with the skills that we know Hailey King has. Car's just ripping up and down. What road is that?
Shoot, it's not Roosevelt. Roosevelt's on the other side.
I don't know, but stop by Spinners. They're over off McDowell. Hole number 11. We start heading back toward the beginning of the course at 543 feet. Now, this is a little bit shorter tee than what we see on the MPO side, taking off about 150, 200 feet.
Yep, just about.
Can tee from just to the right of the pin, or to the right of the tee pad there if you wish. And Ouch.
Yeah, you've got those two Mando trees over there on the left-hand side, and obviously if you cross that sidewalk, you're out of bounds. And you've got the rock line up on your right-hand side. If you go up there, you're also out of bounds.
Thank you.
That's going to play nice.
Looks like a similar shot for Valerie. She'll be a little bit obstructed.
Mm-hmm.
And Alexis with a little turn on that to play kind of from that left to right. Now, if you're proficient with your forehand, this seems like a pretty good spot to be.
Yeah. You can also just throw something a little stable, almost up at that palm tree up above the basket, and it'll come down just beautifully and just slide right into the pin.
That's exactly what you were just saying. Oh, and she just misses it. That's a perfect approach shot. Also very fortunate. There's very little wind to speak of, and that could be said of all 4 days at this tournament, and that's just completely unheard of. I shouldn't say we didn't have any wind. There was some. It wasn't overpowering for most of the weekend.
Right.
As Owen gets just about inside the 10-meter circle there.
The day before we started this whole tournament, the winds were gusting like 25 miles per hour, and I thought, what am I doing? This is wild. But then it just completely quieted down for the majority of the tournament. So it wasn't bad at all.
Owen from circle's edge. Just off the front of the cage. A little bit timid, a little bit shy, putting downhill.
Mm-hmm.
So Hailey, who seemed to gain a little bit of momentum in the front nine, she was going back and forth. Hailey is usually one that will pick up a lot of birdies, maybe some birdies that a lot of the FPO field won't get.
Mm-hmm.
But then often we see her kind of struggle with maybe some of that aggression leading to her going out of bounds or you know, a few extra putts on the green. So it seems like she kind of gives them back in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And her sometimes harnessing that power is a little tougher for her. So she's going to lose one to Own there. Here we are on 12. What are the playing uphill from a slightly shorter tee?
Yep, and it plays a smidge longer than you think. You don't want to get too much of a skip on this too. So I like to throw a little bit of a stable driver flat and hang it out to the right and just let it come back, fade right into that basket. The wind can really mess with you here, though. So we were lucky that it wasn't too windy.
That looks low.
And that's going to be out of bounds. You do have to get off that gunite type wall, that rock wall. You have to be on the grass.
Yeah, that's a great clarification because often you think about how, you know, that water would be out of bounds, but they play it as anything short of that grass is going to be out of bounds. So you have to clear it.
And you have to re-tee from there as well. There is not an advancement point. You have to re-tee, or you can sometimes throw it up to the right, and people will chip their way up there.
So Alexis was short and right. Oh, no.
Mm.
She got up and over, and she's
Is it just another re-tee?
Yeah.
Or do I take it?
baffled. So now she's clarifying if it's another re-tee or not.
That's always good to check. Always check with your card. Make sure you guys are following everything correctly because you don't want to misplay.
Yeah, and if you're uncertain, don't hesitate to pull out a rule book, whether it's a digital one or a printed copy or whatever the case might be. Double check the T sign. Use all of those reference points. Just gonna put a little extra juice on this one, and gets it up and over. Here's Hailey going with a forehand. That worked out pretty well. She's just to the right of the pin,
Okay.
although it can be a little tough to see, I know, with a clear disc. Both Valerie and Hailey have looks at birdie. Count it.
Yeah. I love her consistency on how she does her prep. She does the exact same prep every single time for a putt, no matter how far out it is. I think that says a lot. It's awesome.
Yeah, very methodical, and like you said, I think that provides another level of consistency for sure.
That one just didn't want to stay in.
No, it splashes out on that right side, and talk about a potential momentum shift and swing here. After Owen had gone out of bounds, she doesn't get up and down.
Hey.
Well, hello.
And to be fair, it's easy to kind of get lost in your moment as marking of DG was jumping in to get the shot. All good. Now, if that happens, 3 or 4 or 6 times in a round, then usually some cocky words get thrown around. Well, at least I do. But sliding into one shot, that's not so bad. It's all right. Hey, he gave us some great thumbnails. I'm not complaining. So here's hole 13. This one's dangerous, isn't it?
Yes, it is. These trees are really good guardians. So you think you can sneak by sometimes and you just can't. It'll knock you right back out in the pool. So you really just want to play right up in between them, get something that'll slide forward, hopefully not skip to the left and go out of bounds over that sidewalk.
Not only is there the OB, but also a Mando tree on that left side. Sit down.
Ooh.
Oh. And it looks like that found the sidewalk. Owen's playing that skip from left to right. She's still going to have to go to the right of the Mando tree, though.
Yep.
And that's also leaking left, but not quite as much skip. So she'll be safe. She should have a relatively easy up and down. I like the angle that she's at.
Mm.
And then, again, another really great teachable moment. Anytime you are near out of bounds, have someone else from your card come over and look at it, because otherwise they can just assume you were in fact OB as opposed to assuming you were inbounds. So we heard Valerie a moment ago making sure that someone else in her card had seen it and taken a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Any part of your disc is touching inbounds, then in fact you are inbounds, and so it looks like the right call was made.
Yeah.
Skip up to the pin.
And that's the exact shot you want to do from that position. Get a little skip off the ground. Oh, man, right under the basket.
Yeah, I can't say enough how excellent of an approach that was, because she not only needed the right angle, but she needed to know just how hard to throw it, because if she goes 5 feet past, that's in the water OB.
Oh, yeah.
And a pretty darn good shot as well there from Alexis. Hailey's a little bit shorter distance, but equally as effective. Here's an awkward one, right? She has to go to the right of this Mando.
Yeah. Trying a little patent pending there to see what we can do. A little forehand. All right. That'd be a fun one to see.
Yeah, she indicated motioned as if it would be a roller. I think a roller would be really, really gutsy.
Yeah.
Now you're actually playing to the Mando, so you would line up, and that's exactly what she was just asking if she was good. You're actually lining up your perpendicular to the Mando tree, not to the basket in this case.
Correct. That one confuses a lot of people.
Looks like she's going back to the bag and has a different idea. I'm nervous. Okay.
Left her a little bit of a putt, but it is Ohn, so I think we're going to be all right. Yep.
Yeah. What are we stressing over, right? She's got this. So Owen will remain at that 5 under. I think Hailey's next to the pin. Hailey's looking at staying at even.
Making it look easy.
Solid putt. And this plays as one of the most difficult holes on the course, through and through. So the fact that we're going to see here 4 pars is actually really solid. If you've taken a par here, you've done something right for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're just not going to see too many 2s. So as long as you're not giving away strokes with bogeys or double bogeys, there's nothing wrong with a 3 there. The only thing that's wrong is not getting you some double G craft jerky. That's then you've got problems. But here we are on hole number 14, a par 4.
So this has a lot of OB trees. So you have to make sure you're staying either left or right of the OB trees. They're pretty much just trying to protect the sidewalk and the pedestrians. So that's why they did it this way. So it's a little bit different than years past.
Thank you.
We also see that you have to navigate to the right of the trees on the left side because they don't want you throwing into hole 6's fairway or finding any out of bounds over there. And I don't feel like there's a lot of room for a forehand here unless she throws it straight. Okay. Well, what do I know? Oh, no.
Did it come back? Oh.
No, just not enough. Yeah, it just needed to hook up a little bit quicker. So she obviously got past the first Mando, but then on that second one on the left side, she did not go to the correct side. And that will be short, but that'll work for Alexis. And so I guess there's a distinction to be made that she, in fact, is out of bounds and not necessarily that she missed the Mando.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss the Mando, then you go to the drop zone where you see the little whisker there. But she had gone out of bounds and hadn't missed the Mando yet. So that's why she's playing this as a regular OB.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, great recovery shot. Puts her, right there on the dance floor. Valerie's comes up a little bit short and left. She'll have some work to do.
Looks like Hailey wants to put this right under the basket.
Looks like she was basket hunting there for a
Yeah.
moment. So we're looking at about 50 feet and just off the right side. A really good run.
We've all
Hailey's-
got some longer putts on this one. Yes, nice.
So immediately we're going to see a little movement between Hailey and Owen as Hailey's manages to get up and down. She takes the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Owen had gone out of bounds, so we're going to see that lead shrink a little bit.
Yep, 4 more holes to go too.
Yeah, OB, danger on all 4 holes, where anything can happen. And just like that, the 2-stroke swing gives the 3-stroke advantage to Own. Now we move over to a slightly different looking. The tee is actually just here off to the left side, but it's a 450-foot hole number 15, and you're just trying to pump this out in the center and then hang a left.
Yeah, pretty much. You want to miss those Mandos, stay right of the Mando left trees on your left-hand side there, again, protecting that sidewalk and pedestrians. So if you can get that nice far out there, get a nice little skip, and then do a little forehand. I like to do a forehand upshot, then tap it in. I mean, walk away with your birdie.
Well executed position and placement and just overall shot there by Hailey. You see Valerie keeping it a lot lower, trying to get a little more of the ground play. That should be in good position. This looks a bit tight. Well, she made the Mando, and
Yeah.
we'll see what kind of lane she has. I feel like we had 4 relatively similar shots. Now it's just a matter of who can get closest on the approach.
Good shot. Thank you.
Well,
Nice.
that's almost touching the pole, so I don't know if it's going to get much closer.
No, that was really good.
You see Alexis has more of a hyzer angle to it, and you have to be careful. Very, very fast green. There's sidewalk, 12, 15 feet behind the pin?
Yeah, just about. And it's pretty much dirt underneath that basket, so you can skip or get a big slide that you did not expect to get. So it's a little dangerous over there.
Stand still and maybe not enough air underneath it. Not much wind. This is Valerie from circle's edge and just a bit low. I know I've stated it countless times over the last 8 or 10 or 20 videos here, but huge shout out to First Light. The guys really helping make this coverage and our trip there possible this year, along with Gary and Dustin and Dylan, trying to capture 3 rounds of golf a day, which was silly, and just trying to give you guys as much content as possible, and all the commentators and people that have joined in and been part of it, including yourself, Jamie.
Thanks.
You're like a seasoned pro now. We're gonna have to renegotiate the contract we don't yet have. Now that you're 3 rounds in on commentary, and everyone's been loving it.
Well, that's great. It's been fun, actually.
Now we move over to hole 16, 390 feet. Sometimes I call this the dream crusher because it can end your tournament hopes. Playing to this hillside and deciding how aggressive you want to be on the putt.
Yeah, the putt can be a little scary. So you kind of want to take the putt out of play if you can. And then you want to make sure you can get up on the hillside without potentially hitting the hill and causing a cut roller, because that's another danger.
See what Owen has for her forehand. That's stabling up and pushing to the right side, but she stays safe.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, I love the angle. I don't think she's got enough, of the speed or skip to find danger there. So I like the angle on it. This one looks like trouble. No, it stays. And you can attest to it, Jamie, right? That's the number one problem on this hole is, what angle are you coming in at and how quickly it can get away from you.
Yep. Too much angle and you're just going to slide or roll. And if you can get a little bit more of a stickier disc, it'd be nice to have something that's not going to just skip down the hill. You want it to grab onto something. Nice putt.
Hailey remains at 2, and we've seen this has really been, pretty much a 2-woman race. We've been keeping our eye on the chase card. Just not enough time for anyone off the chase card to come try and hunt down what Owen and Hailey have been doing. Valerie remains the next closest threat, and we see her a handful back. And Owen taps in for a bogey. And just like that, things have gotten even closer. But now we head over to one of the shorter ones, 243 feet. You like the forehand, you said?
No, this one I actually like to throw an understable mid-range. And I try to throw it a little bit at the base because you're kind of throwing downhill at it. So if you don't want to throw it too high, because if you miss that basket, you're going right into the out of bounds. So you want to play a little bit lower. For my shot, that is.
Well, and that's the beauty of it. I think everyone has, their favorite attack here. And we see a great forehand by Alexis. There's Valerie with the forehand, a little bit stiffer.
It's close. Oh, it's out.
I don't know.
Yeah, we hear her say that it's going to be close, just as you said, and I think there's going to be a discussion about it in a moment, and that one checks up.
A little bit of rock love there.
So, we're going to get the group in. Dustin tries to zoom in, or Dylan zooms in for us. And we can't quite hear them, so I'll just say, if any part of the disc is touching inbounds, it's considered inbounds. And now Owen is suggesting taking a picture and markings right there on top of it. But they talk about playing a provisional and how they're going to play it as if it were both inbounds or out of bounds. And just as an independent guy on the side, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, so I would probably take a picture. I would think about doing the provisional, but I will say if that solid white line, if that edge of that disc is in the solid white line and it's not actually in inbounds, then it is out.
So Owen brings it in her full 1 meter after Hailey hits the birdie. Owen answers with a birdie of her own, and she'll maintain a 2-stroke advantage going into the final hole. So pictures now has been taken. And as I'm just looking at it, from what I could see from the angle in which we captured it, to me it looked like no part of that disc was touching inbounds.
Right. And that's what it looked like on my view as well. I would see it the same way.
But it is absolutely true. You have the right to play a provisional. You can get a clarification later. So she's going to play it. I guess this is kind of odd too, because she's playing a provisional, so she's putting twice as if it's inbounds and out of bounds, but you would get the same mark from either spot. Do you know what I mean? So
You mean where you did the meter off the OB line?
Yeah, because if it's inbounds, you'd take it in up to a meter, and if it was out of bounds, you'd take it up to a meter. So I guess that's the question: is do you play it out both ways? Does that make sense?
I would do the same marking. The difference is just going to be the score, whether she's getting a birdie or a par at that point.
So do you putt twice?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because you have to call your provisional. So you have to say, okay, this is my provisional. You throw it, and then you play the one that you think if it was out of bounds.
Okay. It just kind of bent my mind for a moment, because I'm thinking you're standing in the same spot either way. But anyway, we're here on 18. Hailey is trying to hunt down Ohn. She's actually been quite successful at it. She's just within 2 strokes, and she's got plenty of power for this 381 footer.
And this is the kind of hole that could definitely make 2 strokes go one way or another.
And it stays in bounds. The red flag, I think, was actually to tell the players not to throw yet, but Hailey was already up and ready for it. So she's in bounds, looking at a long birdie look.
Mm.
And Alexis is short and out of bounds. Oh, needs something in bounds here at least. She's got 2 strokes to play with. Well, 1 if she wants to maintain. Great placement by Valerie. And she'll have a long look at birdie. So it looks like Alexis was maybe given a spot on that side. And she'll pitch up and over. Own right underneath the pin and
Settle.
pretty close to it. Yeah, you would think that should do it.
Nice.
Hailey.
Oh.
Hailey pushes to 4 under. But folks, that's not going to be enough. Own with just the short tap in, everybody else will clean up. And just like that, Owen Scoggins, there's a little congratulatory fist bump. And Owen Scoggins, I think, is going to be crowned your champion as she takes home the beautiful trophy along with her husband there. So Jamie, let's take a quick look. Here's the final scores. And then I'm going to catch up with Owen and have a chat with her. So pretty impressive. Owen, Hailey, Valerie, and then Erica Stinchcomb with that final hot round.
Yeah.
Coming in and moving into 4th place. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, really good shooting this weekend.
So it was a pleasure. Thank you for joining. And I'm looking forward to you and I knocking out more commentary in the future.
Absolutely, Terry.
Thank you, Jamie. And now here it is, Owen Scoggins, your champion at the 2021 Memorial Championships. Here she is. I'm the Disc Golf Guy, and that was my video blog. Just as they're tapping in, I'm joined by our champion in Owen Scoggins. And Owen, an incredible weekend, 4 rounds of golf, including a 10-18 rated round yesterday on Saturday. What was working for you out there? What was going right?
Well, you know what? My driving was like work good. You know, I learned some wind, so I learned how to throw in the wind better, and you know, just like adjust my putting. So you know, and then my sidearm was working well, my backhand working well, my putting, like it's come along very good. So
well, when you're putting, you're driving, your forehand, your backhand, when they're all working well, that's how you win.
right, that's right.
I mean, that's pretty easy for you.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy playing the Fountain course more or the Vista course a little bit better?
You know, I love Vista because it's more easy. But Fountain Hill is just like I hate the hole. It's like near the water.
The hole's near the water.
Yes, it's very dangerous. But every time when I throw to that hole, so I have to tell myself, hey, you know what? You just cannot run like 50-50. You have to go 100%. I tell myself all the time, if you 50-50, you better just lay up. And I tell myself, hey, don't be scared because it's nothing to lose. And if I want to catch, 2 amazing players out there, so I have to play hot and solid. So.
Well, it sounds like some pretty sound advice. Don't be 50-50. You're either fully committed or you lay up. That's what I think you're telling us, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, this is Owen Scoggins. Anything you want to say to everybody that watched all 4 rounds of this women's bonus coverage? Anything you want to say?
Well, you know, thank you so much for support us, you know, support me, and, you know, especially support Disc Golf and, you know, support Disc Golf Guy also. So anyway, so just, you know, whatever you guys out there, you have family or friend who don't know how to play disc golf, bring them out there and teach them how to play, because disc golf is amazing. sport. So, you know, when you get in, you cannot get back. You know what I'm saying? So let's play disc golf more.
Wow, she's got all the brightest words. I'm going to end it there. Owen, Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, and my incredible crew in Dustin, Gary, and Dylan. We'll see you guys next time at the 2022 Memorial Championships.
Thank you.